To complete the review assignment, you need actually four things. You need the instructions for the review assignment, which is here, which you have a copy of. You need your paper. We're going to look at a student paper. You need the rules list. You have this rules list, and it's also the same information that is the inside back cover of the Hacker and Summers text, and you need the Hacker and Summers text. Let's look at the process. The instructions say for the errors in grammar and punctuation that are S errors, sentence style, W errors, word choice, grammatical sentences, punctuation and mechanics. Those are the ones that you need to pay attention to. You are to identify the rule number. So if S1A is marked on my paper, then I need to mark it on the handout. You can make a list, you can print it out and use a highlighter, but the main idea is that you identify the rules and then you address them in the order that they appear on this document. So identify the rule numbers using the order in the book, and that is the order on the handout, to organize. Write the rule numbers that you have identified that have been marked in your paper. That's the first step. Go through your paper, identify the rules that have been marked in your paper, and list them in order. The next step is to go to the writer's reference and actually look the rule up. So let's say you made an error in S1 parallelism, items in a series. So you would read the rule and you would state it in your own words. If you don't understand what some of the words mean, then you need to look them up. Most of this is provided in that vocabulary from the beginning of the semester. First thing you do is to write the rule in your own words. You can copy it word for word if you want to. This is intended not to prevent you from copying it, but so that you don't have to use the language they use, but so that you can communicate what you understand the rule to be. Second step. 1, identify the rules in your paper. 2, list them. 3, you need to write the rule in your own words. Now notice that you are doing this in a Word document that you're going to submit as your review. So go ahead and set up a document, list your rules by number, in order as they appear on that handout, as they appear in the inside back cover, then go through, look the rules up, and write them in your own words. If we look at this student paper, you can see that there is an error P10, P5E, G3A. I picked a paper with just a few errors because that makes the point. Notice again that the comments have numbers, but those are unrelated to the rule numbers. For this paper, the rules that we identified were G3A, P5E, and P10. This is the order that they appear on the sheet and in the book. So for each rule we have written the rule by number and have written the rule as we understand it in our own words. Then the next thing it says that you are to do is to copy the sentence or sentences from the paper in which the error occurred. You write it twice. So you copy and paste it twice. So this sentence, I copied out of the original. I copied it once, and then I copied it twice, so that I have the rule marked, and then I correct it in the second sentence. I explain why the rule was applied, because child is singular, and the pronoun should be singular. And I had no problems, but if I didn't know what an antecedent was, I needed to look it up. If I didn't know what agreement was, I had to look it up. So it may be that your problem was that you had to look up vocabulary and that made it more difficult for you, or that you don't really understand. Second thing, a second one. A child in seclusion cannot find their gift. So again, I have a singular antecedent, a plural pronoun, and I had to make that change. You will notice that it says if you make the error multiple times, you only have to correct it 3 times. Same thing, commas and periods are placed inside closing quotation marks, copied and pasted the error twice, corrected the error in the second one. Titles of video games are italicized or underlined, copied and pasted it. There were 3, I corrected 3. This file is saved as review, assignment, memoir, and it is submitted as an attached document in the assignment link that is provided in this week's unit. One other last point, and that is if the letter and number don't make sense, or if there is a letter number and another letter, I may have made a typographical error. If you have questions about the rule, copy and paste that into a message to me and ask me so that I can clarify. If something doesn't make sense, if you take more than 2 or 3 minutes, if it's other than understanding vocabulary and you're uncertain, send me a message and ask me so that I can clarify.